Right, okay.
You haven't got agendas, have you?
Yes, we have, but I've got one copy of myself.
Okay.
I can sort of float it a bit.
Well, I have read it, but...
Right. Okay, so this meeting will be recorded by the Parish Council in accordance with the Local Audit Accountability Act 2014. Members of the public and press may photograph, film or audio record public meetings. Anyone wishing to do so should inform the chairman before or at the start of the meeting. I'm assuming you're recording?
Yes.
Yeah. Members are reminded their responsibilities under the Code of Conduct, Standing Orders and the 7 Principles of Public Life: selflessness, integrity, objectivity, accountability, openness, honesty and leadership. Recording is permitted during the public meeting, but not before it starts or after it formally closed. Please stop recording when the meeting ends. Okay, so I'm happy the meeting now started. I've read off the basics. Right. Number 1, apologies for absence. To receive and accept apologies where valid reason have been given to the clerk prior to the meeting.
So Sophie, please.
Sophie, yep, okay. Number 2, declarations of interest. Has anyone got any declarations of interest to declare?
No.
No. Number 3, election of vice chairman. To elect a vice chairman for the remainder of the municipal year for resolution. Have we got any proposals, please?
Propose Paul Forster.
Have we got a seconder for Paul Feister? I'll second Paul Feister. Have we got a vote for Paul Feister as vice chairman? 1, 2, 3, 4. Have we got a poll against? 1. Sam?
I'll abstain from it.
So did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. So Paul?
Thank you.
That's all right, Tom. Like to be obliging me now. Right. Okay. Move to item number 4, outstanding of accounts for the remainder of the municipal year. Now, this is just a confirmation. It should really be a chair's report, I'm guessing, because it's already been done. To confirm the outsourcing of accounts work for the remainder of the financial year 2025-26, including year-end reports, AGAR preparation and audit assistance by Neil Watson for resolution. Isabel?
Can I please make a point?
Yes.
It is not his responsibility to do the AGAR, because he is not the RFO. It is the RFO's responsibility to do the AGAR, so that needs amending.
Thank you.
He's doing the accounting to get us up to date, but he does not fill in the RFO, and he is not responsible for said thing.
Thank you.
Can I just clarify that the local clerk is not an RFO?
She is an RFO.
She
Yes.
is. She is. So why is the...
We'll get that to in later in the minute. She is at this very point an RFO.
Okay.
She hasn't done any of them RFO duties at the time because of only working 2 days a week, and she can't even cope with the normal stuff in 2 days a week without any other things. So as I say, that's resolution only, it's already been done. So do you need a proposal on that?
It's not to agree.
Right, it's just a resolution, isn't it?
Yeah, so do we agree that?
Yeah.
Yeah, propose to agree.
Second.
Seconded. 4. Everyone?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7.
Yeah. Against? No one's against, are they? There you go. Right. Okay, number 5, groundskeeper role. To agree an interview panel for the replacement groundskeeper for resolution.
Can I just ask a question?
Of course you can.
It's Pete that's resigned. He's gone.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so the idea here is to create an interview panel for the groundskeeper and then decide its responsibilities, i.e. you could create one with who can interview only, interview and hire, etc, etc. I'd propose that any interview panel only has the rights to interview and not hire. Hire must come back to full council. That seems...
Okay, I'll second that. That sounds good.
Okay. And would we need to agree who's on that interview panel as part of that resolution?
That's part of the resolution, okay?
Yeah. So who?
I'll do it, can I?
I'll serve.
I'm quite happy.
Right, 2 seconds, one at a time. So Tim, you're interested? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else interested in being on the interview panel?
Well, as I'm chair of open spaces, would it not be sensible that somebody, I know Paul's got an awful lot of experience.
Well, it can be as many as you want. I'm not.
Well,
So I'm quite happy for
Obviously,
that.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
I didn't think any could.
So that's 4 people interested in this, yes?
Yeah.
4 people interested, so
Okay.
I'm happy with all
Isabel?
4 personally.
Right.
Yeah.
Tim, can you propose it and read out the names, please, for the
I
record?
should propose that we do, as you said, with this, we allow the groundskeeper position to be set out, and that we set up an interview panel consisting of myself, Paul Foyster, Peter Howden, and Isabel Hutchinson. And if that's what you're proposing, then I shall second
Can I
it.
just ask another question?
Yeah.
Should Dan not be involved?
well, that's what I was just going to say. He can't, obviously, he
He
can't
can't be
vote.
part of
No.
it,
But he
can-
needs to
know
be
that.
part as an advisor
Yeah,
because
that's up to the
it's
interview panel.
crucial.
Because we need,
Yeah,
you know, what the job description and
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
exactly.
they can and can't do.
We've already
Yeah.
got the job description, it's already been posted and
Yeah,
everything.
but he will have a lot better
He helped me
understanding
create
of,
it.
and he will know which questions are relevant and which questions
Yeah.
are not.
That'd be down to the interview panel to invite him in, etc. Once there. Okay, so Tim, you've had your proposal. Do we need to read that out again?
It was your proposal, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I've seconded it.
Yeah.
So if you want to read out your proposal again.
So that was to propose the interview panel set up. They must. Their responsibility would be to interview but not hire. Hiring must be brought back to full council.
Okay.
And that'd be Tim, Paul Foyster, Peter Howden, and Isabel Hutchinson.
Okay, right.
Where does Dan fit into that?
He'll be invited by us.
Yeah. And seconder for that.
I've just seconded it.
Yeah, second Tim, and all 4 that, please.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Anyone against?
No?
No. Okay,
No.
brilliant. Okay, the next one is. Okay, so the next one is a bit difficult to discuss in a public session because I believe that a lot of it would come down to the money being paid, and I don't feel.
Then I propose it goes into closed session.
And therefore, I would like that to go into closed session. Second, you propose it. I second that.
Yeah.
And everyone agree for that to go into closed session?
Can you please just clarify exactly why it needs to go into closed session, because we have got a nice little person behind us that is potentially going to question said decision.
We're basically discussing the salary of
what?
the locum clerk, how much she gets.
So what is the agenda item? Can you just read out the agenda item as it stands now?
To
please?
continue the contract with the LGRC's Gina Lopez suitably amended to reflect the worker's interim clerk only, not responsible finance officer, with the remit to work remotely over 22.5 hours per week, to manage the current activity levels of the council and attend meetings remotely for acceptance by resolution. You was all forwarded the said contract earlier. As I said, it contains personal details, and therefore I suspect that will fall within the remit of needing to go into private. Has anyone
Closed session.
got any challenge to say it shouldn't be in private for them reasons?
No, just go.
No? Okay, seconded. Proposed to go into private. Thank
1,
you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we move on to the number 7, acting responsible finance officer, to agree an interview panel for an acting responsible finance officer for resolution. Isabel.
Are we also, I know we discussed this, are we going to amend that agenda item to do, to appoint a panel for responsible financial officer and also acting clerk? We may not be in a position at the moment to do that, but if you're appointing a panel, surely it would be sensible that you've already got your panel, so should you have a suitable person come forward, you've got a panel ready to go.
I've got no objection against that, it seems sensible.
Just clarify that again.
So the agenda item is to appoint a panel for RFO, but if you're having a separate RFO, you will need a separate acting clerk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Currently, we have not got anybody applied for that role, but if you're setting up a panel, if you do it for both things, then the panel is there.
Okay.
We don't have to have yet another meeting to set up
This
another
would be
panel.
for a deputy clerk.
No,
No.
this is for acting role.
Okay.
Bearing in mind that currently, as it stands, we have someone as an RFO, but as per agenda item number 6, Gay would step down from RFO and only be the clerk.
Right.
That needs to be very deeply considered on this, because obviously we need to make sure it's in the correct order.
Yeah, can I just say that this makes the task of getting an acting clerk much easier. They're not have to be RFO, because someone who is not a financial whiz could probably do the clerk's job quite easily.
Yes.
Hopefully, the same would apply if we get a deputy clerk. So could we add that as well?
You haven't got the budget for all those. You can do whatever you want. You can add them all, and you can say, oh, we'll have a panel for this, that, and the other. But we have not got the budget for all of those roles currently. We haven't got it. End of.
In order to move on a bit quicker, we've got a meeting in 2.5 weeks or something, so we can always add that at that meeting.
Okay.
For this particular meeting, your proposal was, Isabel?
To amend it to include acting clerk role as well as RFO role. So they're two separate things, but the interview panel will be responsible for interviewing for both of those roles.
Okay. And so we get the proposal all in like we did last time. Who would want to be on said interview panel?
I'll volunteer.
I don't mind.
Anyone else? I can see 3 hands up at the moment. Anyone else would like to be on that interview panel? No? Okay, so can you remember them 3 names? Because
I'm writing it down.
Because there's a bit more I want to add to this as well. Now, my proposal would be to stay in line with what we just did with the RFO, i.e. they would have power to interview, but they must come back to full council.
Yep.
In order to transparency, basically.
Yep.
Okay, so Isabel, do you want to read off that proposal, please, with the names?
Isabel?
Well, you've got it in front
I've
of you.
got it in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I'm not Isabel.
yeah, go on, Tim.
Right, okay. The proposal is to amend the item to include not just RFO but also the acting clerk, set up an interview panel, myself, Peter Howden and Adrian Hasler to be interview panel, interview not hire.
Okay, seconder for that. All in for that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so much agreement.
Yeah. Right. Unless I gave you my important piece of paper. Have I got anything else on the agenda?
No.
No. Okay, therefore the public session is therefore closed because we're going to move to private session. All taping can stop, please. Okay. We're going to private session now, so we can't have any public, unfortunately.